I think we've been hypnotized and conditioned into becoming materialists. I think that we define reality with our senses, and I think that is one of the biggest illusions. So the fundamental question is, can you believe in a future that you can't see or experience with your senses yet, but you've thought about enough times in your mind that your brain is literally changed to look like the event has already occurred? You no longer have to go anywhere to get it. Now it begins to come to you. You become the vortex or the magnet to your destiny.
This thing, you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. Yes, your family supports you. Yes, your friends support you, but you're doing it for yourself at the end of the day. And you're the only one who's going out there. You gotta motivate yourself, and you gotta want it as much as everybody else on the track. So I've learned that, so it's easier now. Certain people say, this season, you're saying it's not running as fast as you should. It doesn't bother me, because I've been through this already, and I know what they're gonna say all the time. But I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I can do. So
my dad was a man who against the odds made it, and but he would get up at usually 5:30 in the morning, and he would say, if I get up, you're gonna get up too. He would drag me to the gym, and by the way, I'm 5 years old, and he would drag me to the gym. My dad always said too that regardless of what you do in life and where you go, respect is going to be given when it's earned, and you have to go out and earn it every single day.
You're born with talent. You know, it's like there's certain things that you just do naturally. You were gifted with a talent and you have it. But skill is acquired through discipline. And, you know, I've never seen myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is I'm willing to die in the process of acquiring skill, right? When I look at people and I see things, I don't feel like I can't. Whether or not I will is something different, but I don't ever feel like I can't.
You have to make a decision what's important to you. Time to go out and do whatever, be whoever you are, help whoever you want to help, raise your family, whatever it is, or do you want to create a world-class company? What is your goal? And you have to understand your goals, and there should always be a price. You know, if it is about selling at some point, what's the price? What is it that causes you to work 24 hours a day? What is it that causes you to dream about this company? What is it that gets you so fired up you can't think about anything else? What is it just that you just say, this is me, right? I am, you know, what is it that drives you?
One of the main reasons that people don't get what they want is because they don't actually figure out what it is. And the probability that you're going to get what would be good for you, let's say, which would even be better than what you want, right? Because, you know, you might be wrong about what you want easily, but maybe you could get what would really be good for you. Imagine that you were taking care of yourself like you were someone you actually cared for. And then you thought, okay, I'm caring for this person. I would like things to go as well for them as possible. What would their life have to be like in order for that to be the case?
No matter what you face, no matter how bad it is going to be, when there is a challenge, anything that you're facing, the only way to overcome the challenges that you face is to start walking. Take that step every day, no matter what you are facing. Get up and start walking.
A lot of people out there chasing their dream, but their dream is to just be rich, and that's not a dream. You know, if you try to go out and just make money for the purpose of making money, first of all, you could end up in the wrong place due to it. You could be miserable, and then when you get it, if you don't have no goal on why you were trying to achieve this goal, you feel unfulfilled.
I'm sure all of you have been told that you don't have what it takes, and that you may not be good enough, and you don't have enough people supporting you, and you're being told all of these things, but deep down it's all you want to do. You want to be a part of something great. You want to make something great. And it does more than knock the wind out of you. It crushes you when people try to tell you that you're not good enough. And it almost did for me, but there was my mom next to me, stronger than ever. And she said, the most important thing is to always trust in myself. If I'm doing something because I love it, I should do it because I love it, and I believe I can do it. Let the critics be critics, and let us just trust ourselves.
How willing are you to listen to that inner voice that no one else can hear? That little scurvy elephant in there that says, you're not the boss of me. You can't tell me what I'm here for. You have to, it takes a kind of fearlessness, because fear is such an omnipresent force in our lives. I do what I do because of the passion I feel. I am not here because of what you paid me to be here for. I am not here because of any need that I have to sell another book. I am not here for anything external to myself. I am here because I have a passion within me.
My uncle always told me something early in my life which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal. You know, because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you know, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. Just be, he always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it could be a self-destructive thing. So, I mean, I just kind of try and progress as much as I can, like right now.
For me, money is not my definition of success. Inspiring people is a definition of success. Doing things to the maximum. I want to change the definition of status quo. And that's what I want. I want my shoes. I want as many people to be able to have them as possible. Because in 100 years from now, everyone in this room will be dead. And what did you do while you were here?
Life's about self-discipline. It is about self-discipline. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is, it builds no mental toughness. It builds no mental hardening. It builds nothing. When you work out, working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. Yeah, you may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. It's not, people, man, why are you always working out? Stop looking at it that way. This is the foundation of life.
These are words to remember when anyone tries to tell you to give up, tell you to give in, because whatever you're trying to do is impossible. Impossible is just a word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. I'm here to say you will make mistakes along the way. You will fall down. I have, many times. But what we do after that fall is how we make history, because impossible is nothing.
If you can't go through this pain period, you make it to be a champion. If you can't go through, forget it. And that's where most people lack, is on this, having the guts to go in and just say, I go through and I don't care what happens. You know, it aches, and if I fall down, I have no fear of fainting in a gym, because I know it could happen. I threw up many times while I was working out, but it doesn't matter, because it's all worth it.
We all have varying degrees of loss and sadness and pain in our lives, and it's a necessity, honestly, because then how would we appreciate the good times and the hopeful times and all of the abundance that life has, if you go and grab it. But it's a personal choice to get up and move on and be better.
I think the greatest of people that have ever been in society, they were never versions of someone else. They were themselves. You don't think about Michael Jordan, the basketball player, and say, oh, he was just like this other player. No. You don't even say he was like this player plus that player divided by 2 plus this. No. He's Michael Jordan. I think the greatest of people in society carved niches that represented the unique expression of their combinations of talents.
Man, you just gotta stay real to yourself, don't ever try and follow the trends. That's when you get lost in the sauce, man. You gotta do what you feel, man, and be creative, and don't be scared to be yourself, and always keep that faith. I've been in the darkest times of my life, man, where I didn't know what was gonna happen, or was flat broke. Anything you could think of, man, I done been through it, and you gotta be strong enough to make it through, and it just makes it that much sweeter when everything starts going right. you appreciate it way more, man. So yeah.
It's easy to embrace hopelessness when things seem insurmountable, and yet it's actually just a matter of time until all of the elements come together for things to be all right. I mean, I believe that, you know, most difficult situations will resolve themselves if you are persistent and if you don't give up entirely. And that's what I never did. I never gave up.
You really have to be very, very, very stingy with your time. Don't waste it on people that aren't like-minded. Don't waste it doing things that you know are not part of your dream plan. Don't waste time being bitter, which I know I've been argumentative. I understand the meaning of hate, because in the end, it just wastes your most valuable asset, time.
You have to work on yourself, and you have to have an unstoppable attitude, and no excuse is acceptable, and you've got to make it a priority, a non-negotiable in your life, and hold a constant vision of what it is you want to achieve. See it accomplished and go all out. Find a way to win. In spite of the setbacks, in spite of the disappointments, in spite of your failures.
Knowing what it is about you that is infectious and being able to convey that to people as soon as you meet them is so important. Being memorable and making an impact is so important. You know, that's true for so many different lines of work, and not just like as an actor, but you have to do things to stand out. You can't play by the rules, and I think that, yeah, just knowing that you're good enough and making sure that you stay on that path to be that person.
It's easy to romanticize hard work, but the reality of hard work is that it is what it is, and it sucks, and it's nonstop. There is no off switch. And you know, like I don't need to work hard. Like, we could leave expensive New York City and move somewhere more cost effective, and I could do nothing but watch TV for the rest of my life. And I can say that at age 37, and that's a huge privilege. But instead I work 20 hours a day because I love every second of it.
Well, it's dedication and hard work. This is my words, to dedicate myself 100% every time to be the position that I am today. It's not 1 year, it's 10 years, 12 years, you know, to maintain my level. It's make me feel proud. You have to dedicate yourself 100%. It doesn't mean how many hours you're training, but the way you're training, your dedication. You can have training only 1 hour, but you give everything for that to achieve your goals. So this is what I try to do. This is make me feel proud, and I will continue to work hard to maintain that level.
You ain't never gave 100%. And in order to knock on the door 100 times, you're gonna have to get 120. Get up out of here. You can't do this. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new.
You should never, ever be embarrassed by those struggles. You should never view your challenges as a disadvantage. Instead, it's important for you to understand that your experience facing and overcoming adversity is actually one of your biggest advantages.
They get comfortable with a win. People can get comfortable with a win, and slack off then. Slack off on the training. Slack off on the diet. They've won one. They're winners now. That's not me. You know, you sleep on a win and you'll wake up with a loss. So I just carry on.
It's just a matter of what's important to you. And what's important to you. For whatever reason, you know, I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. Right? So the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it, because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I could be. And so that's where it comes from for me. You can't leave any stone unturned.